Hey folks, welcome back to our third match for today. It's going to be the last match and the winner will make it into presumably the finals for today. We are in the lower bracket, so right now we are into picks and bans also. Don't want to leave you guys waiting. On the screen you can see on the blue side it's going to be Mythos Esports or Mythos Gaming. On the right side it's going to be Opononi, who's had quite a tough day. They've been playing match after match after match, but for now they should look pretty confident as their opponents have 0 bans. The logic behind that is that because this is a penalty being carried over from yesterday, they had some help during the games. I think a coach was behind them giving them instructions on how to play the game, and there's a strict no-no here, so they will have a 2-game ban for 2-game penalty, not being allowed to ban anything out.
Yeah, Opononi obviously the favorites to win this game, I think. Favorites to go against Lannisters as well, I think.
Yeah,
they go
sure.
Lannisters after this, right?
Yeah, I think this is the lower bracket final, so if they win, they move forward to play against Lannisters in the finals. Mythos, of course, losing to Lannisters late yesterday to drop into this portion of the lower bracket. Look at the picks and bans. Corky, Vladimir, and Lysandra being removed by Opononi. Of course, nothing removed by the opposition, but they will get the Renekton, which is Comfy Room Specialty Champion, and a Jarvan for Lemon Sugar, which has been limited quite a bit this tournament so far. And there you go, Ari as well for Nasha Adventure. This is a perfect 3 opening picks if you are Opononi.
Yeah, Mythos not even going for the, removal picks. They don't even pick up the Ari, don't pick up the Renekton. Instead, they go for the questionable Ezreal Braum. Are you sure you want to go for this lane? I mean, it's a very safe lane. You're not going to be able to find much of anything, really. So, you just sort of hunker down. We're going to lose this lane, so we're just going to play it safe.
Ezreal is super popular in other regions, but in Southeast Asia particularly not seen so often just because it takes so long to scale up. And you basically lack any skirmishing ability early on. You just sit back and throw mystic shots. You don't bring anything to the table apart from an extremely safe laning phase. However, this does mean that the Braum is slightly free to roam around if the matchup isn't too bad. Of course, Opononi hasn't shown anything either on the bottom half of their map. Jace will be banned out against 1296 right now, and we'll have to wait to see the blank bans come through for Mrs. Esports.
Yep. Well, if you're 1296 right now, and if you're Inky, what are you gonna pick against the Renekton and Ari? I mean,
there is a secret. I don't know how much of a secret this is, but Kralix, who was the top laner for NYP during the Campus Legends, did tell us that Graves is a secret Korean solo queue counter pick against the Renekton in the top lane. It basically neutralizes a lot of the threat of the Renekton. We'll see if they are privy to that, but the problem with going for Graves here is that then your top lane becomes lack of a tank.
Yep.
You already have a frontline Sejuani, but you might want another one. So right now, Orianna will be the last ban for Opononi. Switching over, it's 0 bans coming.
0 bans.
The last
Ooh, wow.
0 ban, yeah, no surprise.
What are they going to ban? I mean, all right. So now, sure, I don't think they're going to go for the Graves, but what I want to focus on is, what are you going to pick against the Ari? We've seen this Ari go against, what was it, the Syndra and the Azir, both to amazing degrees of success. I don't think there's really much of anything you can go for if you are on the side of Mythos Esports right now that can neutralize the Ari.
Yeah, unless you have, or at least you feel like you have the upper hand when it comes to playing the matchup, maybe you could go for, I feel like an Assassin might be decent, but even then, it's a very skill-based matchup, something like a Zed or a Kali, maybe you could deal with it, but still, tricky. Meanwhile, Xayah will be locked in. Remember that WRDZ and Sparky played Xayah Nautilus in their, I think, first game for today.
Yep.
So maybe looking for the Nautilus once more. Instead, it's going to be Morgana in the mid lane against the Ari. So you're looking for what could neutralize the Ari. Well, the Black Shield actually stops a lot of the charm damage, and with Tormented Soil, once you have enough AP, you can clear the wave without being there. Still reaping the rewards of the farm and EXP.
What are they gonna go for the top lane though?
Like I said earlier, Graves is an option, but instead going to be the Urgot coming in, and I think decent matchup. It's 50-50, but the Renekton still has the upper hand when it comes to itemizing against the Urgot because it's so flexible in how you want to build your items when it comes to Renekton. You can go for Spear Shojin, like I mentioned, to play against the side lanes 1v1. You can go for Black Cleaver. Comfy Roof has shown a dependence, or at least a preference, to go for Black Cleaver early on.
And we did see 1296 play Urgot, but we saw Urgot himself in the
earlier match for today.
I
think it was Alternative Ladies. Yep.
Actually got bodied by the Aatrox, I want to say,
it was
for
Aatrox
most of that game. So we do have to see whether 1296 is going to be an adequate pilot for this champion. Obviously, if you get a crucial out, you're able to fear most of the other team. That's a huge CC bonus for that. But on the other side, we do see our WRDZ pick up the Zaya and Sparky on the Nautilus.
So no surprise there, the bot lane is pretty much the same. They're defaulting back to the idea of having pick potential at the same time being able to hard engage if they want to. Now, a bit more flexibility in the top though. Instead of the Kled, the Renekton gives side lane pressure if he gets a hit or if she gets a hit. But the Nautilus Ahri do function as pick champions in this composition. So primary and secondary win conditions still more or less similar this time, defaulting back, because we were talking about how Opononi, when they do default away, they change it up. Sometimes the shot calling becomes a bit sloppy, sometimes the decision making is questionable, but when they move to what they're comfortable with, it looks a lot more better, a lot more put together, as it were.
And with no bans coming in from the side of Mythos, if you're Opononi right now, you're going into this game with like smiles on your face. This is a perfect draft for what you want to accomplish. I don't see any way they can lose this game, honestly.
Well, it remains to be seen, of course.
I'm okay.
As a color caster, you're like 100% sold.
100% sold because they've shown that they can play this kind of style.
Right.
And I really don't like this Ezreal Braum, honestly. We've seen, like you said, Ezreal takes way too long to get going, and paired up with this Braum, this bot lane is just auto lose.
I would have preferred something like Ezreal Yumi maybe, but even then also, like you said, composition wise, I think Opononi have the upper hand. Execution wise, they're comfortable with this from past proven records. So maybe firing on all cylinders would be the Opononi side. We're actually just talking to one of the ex FSL competitors about this. Comfy Roof, the top laner for Opononi, was actually the top laner for Close Behind Esports, who did win the previous FSL Elite. So coming in once more, Renekton and Kled, both of some of the most feared champions against Comfy Roof, and this time proving why she was the champions for the previous FSL Elite.
Yep, 100%. Now she's against 1296 on the Urgot, so... Well, Urgot is able to, mitigate sort of... I mean, not mitigate, but pump out a bit more damage when the Renekton tries to go in. It's not... I don't think it's going to be adequate enough to fend off Renekton during the laning phase.
There's that interaction where if Urgot uses the charge, gets the shield, right? Renekton can actually dispel the shield with the empowered W. So overall, I think, like you said, can give up as much damage as she takes, but still a very tough matchup for the Urgot. Especially because being ranged, you can't activate the permafrost from Sejuani that well. In fact, there's almost no one that can activate it apart from the Braum. Even then, he has her own concussive blows, doesn't have to worry about permafrost, right? So the Sejuani value is very much mitigated and diminished, as opposed to, like, there is no good synergy as compared to what we see normally with Sejuani, where you go for things like the Renekton, you go for things like Camille or Aurelia, who can proc the permafrost very quickly, and this time it's not there. Sejuani is going to have a much less or low impact this game.
Yeah, we've seen Sejuani Jarvan a lot of times during this tournament. I think, again, the win condition for Sejuani right now is to counter gank for her teams, counter gank for her lanes rather, when Jarvan tries to go for a gank. But I think if we were to talk about top lane a little bit more, I think the justification for picking Urgot is you're going to lose lane against Renekton, so you pick something that's relatively tanky, relatively ranged, so that maybe you can sort of not take those fights. But even so, paired up with the Morgana right now into the Ahri, you're drafting 3 auto-lose lanes. You're like, for all 3 lanes, you're like, okay, we're gonna lose this lane.
We'll take the loss gracefully.
Loss gracefully. But if you're taking losses all across the board, you don't have an advantage to work off of.
I 100% agree. I think when you play these sort of lanes, you lose a bit of priority, and that allows the Jarvan to be first on the scene for the most part and take the Sejuani jungle, start to abuse the camps and make use of the fact that Conqueror Jarvan is actually pretty sick when it comes to skirmishing. Overall, like you said, bot lane, top lane, kind of have to take the loss a bit. I think Ahri versus Morgana, both of them going for the Glacial Augment. It's kind of interesting as we see on the loading screen. This is no surprise, Natural Adventure does like the Glacial Augment quite a bit. The Morgana here is functioning in a form of utility, but one thing I need to point out is that the composition on the blue side is severely lacking in damage. If they don't get to the point where they're hit, they're actually they're very low in terms of damage potential, because Morgana is not going to be building, this sort of assassination or AP style or anything in the like screaming for utility. Urgot's damage comes in the form of getting the execute. The Fear Beyond Death is the highest value skill that Urgot has. And Sejuani Ezreal needs that time to even get the spells off, to even get to the point where they do damage. So of course, this composition looking very iffy, like you said earlier on.
Right, so right now we've established that they don't have damage, and well,
no lane priority as well.
They have no lane priority, so that's just going to be most of the neutral objectives gone off the map. What I'm struggling to come up with is a way that they can find a footing into this game, and I'm just coming up short every time.
I feel like they can still force things like these miracle picks, as it were, with the Dark Binding as well as Fear Beyond Death. So if you do find an opening angle, right, your pick potential right now becomes your primary win condition. If you hit Dark Binding, you hit Glacial Prison, very easy for you to chain on top of each other. But if you don't, well, you don't have a good secondary win condition. So this is a very one-dimensional composition, as it were. The Azrael himself, or herself in this case, has to hit that point where Mana Mune's completed, you know, Glacial Frozen Face is completed, right? Where your key starts. Maybe that's when you get to a point where you can win. But that's super reliant on your opponents letting you get to that point, right? You have to take the initiative. If your opponents capitalize on your weakness, there is no way on earth you will reach that late game point where you're confident playing these picks.
Yep, 100%. So I think everyone here can agree that Mythos Esports is going up against, you know, an uphill battle if they want to come out ahead in this game at really any point throughout it.
Mountainous would be a closer adjective to describe this battle. I don't think uphill is the word right now. It's like
mountain.
Mount Everest, maybe the climb would be similar to that. Yeah.
You're saying that, not me. I mean, whew, okay. I said Opononi should win, but
Right.
that's just, you know, taking it to the next level, I guess. But honestly, I think you do have, you know, sort of point there. I think it is going to be very difficult. I think uphill battle is just a bit of an understatement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I 100% agree, sort of. Maybe not Mount Everest.
Not to
That's
the
what
degree.
I'm trying to say.
It's okay, guys. I can BM sometimes. It's friendly.
Okay.
Right, on the rift, both mid laners staring each other down. Just throwing a bit of taunts back and forth of Deception. Not really used just yet, although it has been leveled up. Meanwhile, for Comfy Roof, she's going to spot out the Renekton. And this is the sort of trade you don't want to take because the Renekton does not have the range advantage. Sure, you can walk up, but you're going to be taking the very brunt of it. Lemon Trigger now has shown that she is going to be starting on the red side because Xayah Nautilus will be going to lane early, so they know that, hey, Jarvan is playing on the top side, Urgot needs to be careful.
Once again, we see this Jarvan. Actually, we saw it last game, haven't we? This Jarvan is gonna go for her Crux, and then she might actually look for a cheese gang towards top.
Problem here is that there is a early ward in the Tribrush, so if she wants to come in for the gank, is gonna have to sneak in through either the river or the lane. As our observer showing us, there you go, the ward there. We'll see Jarvan sneaking in. Meanwhile, Sejuani mirroring and heading to the top side, doing very early clear, so she did a red buff into Wolves and possibly the blue buff next.
Smart walk from 1296. Actually gonna spot out Lemon Sugar here, so she knows that a gank might be on the way. Lemon Sugar, I think that could be they could have gone for a bit more they could have communicated their ward. That was what I'm trying to say.
Alright, we'll ping this out eventually, though, as 1296 overextends just a little bit. Being away from the flag and drag is good though, so not getting caught in that gank there, but overall the wave was pushing, so she had to play a bit more aggressively in a sense to sort of bait that one out, and bait that she did. So right now, Lemon Sugar will have to back off.
Yep, that's a bunch of wasted time for Lemon Sugar as Sejuani's just farming up. Now, if the Opononi jungler is forced to go down towards her Raptor camp, which is going to take a while. Huckle positioning a bit aggressively, trying to go for a lane gang against the Renekton here. Never mind, just gonna walk away.
Right, so coming up the top side, just showing her face, or well, not showing, but assuring her top laner that she's here in case anything goes wrong. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, small advantage being garnered by the Xayah Nautilus, but it's pretty much to be expected when we talk about Ezreal. You kind of default lose the lane, try to farm up and escalate your gold economy with the Mystic Shots and Klepto.
Jarvan here finally should be getting some XP from this bottom side Scuttle Crab, though, as Sejuani puffs up top again.
Disdain is available for the Urgot, so if she uses it, she'll be able to flip the Renekton into range. Meanwhile, Huckle now pathing into the Tribrush, and this is what I always talk about in top lane, right? The danger of being ganked from the back. Meanwhile, Comfy Roof has 50 rage available to turn this fight over. Very instant use of the Ruthless Predator, but gets Disdain over, and now she will get taken down. Great CC chain coming through from the ladies on the blue side. Mythos Esports strike first.
And that's a good layering of CC coming in from both the Urgot and the Sejuani. I think if they want to get into this game, this is the sort of picks that Huckle has to do for her lanes.
Danger of getting ganked there is omnipresent as Comfy Roof teleports back into the top side. Bear in mind that the Renekton, knowing that she was going to go down, did not burn the flash. Opted to try and take the trade if she could, but in that case, didn't manage to get the revenge kill, will fall. But teleport back into the lane. Has to be careful because the wave is pushing against her, so she could still freeze this one out.
Yep, talking about waves though, I think as soon as she pushes it back out, I think we revert to that priority for Opononi on all 3 lanes, which is good for Huckle because that allows her to gank with great effectiveness.
Now though, as we mentioned, waves being stacked up, but overall CS-wise, nothing too alarming for us. No big red flags among the lanes. Recall might be coming in here for the bot duo of Opononi. 36 CS means I think that's a Caulfield Warhammer if I'm not wrong. The numbers don't lie to me. Essence Reaver should be an item of choice coming in for Desire.
Goes for the boots instead as
Alright,
well. The longsword still on track towards the Essence Reaver as we see the Infernal Drake actually spawning with Vision Console off that side going over to Mythos.
I think every game that Opononi has been playing, there have been Infernal Drakes inside, right? So the RNG has been pretty good for them so far.
Yep, as you can see, pings are actually being placed down on the side of Opononi. Here, they understand that they want to get that Drake, and they have begun to put some vision towards that Dragon.
Now notice that Inky on this Morgana did manage to cheat out a recall, didn't have to teleport back in, but the response only going for the M2. So this is not enough AP for her to successfully clear the wave on a single W, right? You kind of have to use 2 to chunk out the back line.
Yeah, there's going to be a very mana-hungry Morgana as Lemon Sugar goes to the top lane.
Ruthless Predator stunning up the Urgot already, Flagging Drag not used just yet, being held just in case she escapes, but no, the damage coming through from Lemon Sugar is enough to secure the kill, and once more the Urgot holding on to a flash, so both these top laners very cognizant of the idea of, hey, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna hold on to my summon spell.
Yep, a revenge gang from Lemon Sugar now. They're able to push up towards that top side. Nope, they're just gonna force the minions under the tower to deny some XP from 1296.
No teleport because 1296 did use it to reset the wave earlier, so she's gonna miss out on a good amount of CS there. As the ward here in the Pixel Brush will get spotted up, things down, but Scuttlecrab is the priority here for Huckle.
Yeah, just a bit of a vision war going on this bot side river. We see the bots collapsing on the Sejuani.
Getting Pincer out, the charm is gonna connect onto the Sejuani, but she has to flash away. Ignite already onto the jungler of Mythos Esports as the Flag and Drag comes in, and Nacha Adventure is gonna claim the kill. Just in range, multiple summer spells being used, but overall they will remove the jungler from the map for now.
Yep, that was a huge collapse. All 4 members nearby going for that Sejuani. A crucial kill, but they don't translate it to anything else. Not actually going to start out the dragon.
So far so good for both sides. They're just feeling each other out, testing the waters. Small goal lead accrued by the side of Opononi. It's about a 1k gold lead. 7 minutes in. No big rip flags just yet. However, level 6 coming up soon for the bot lane should signal to us that action is going down.
Dominus actually popped on the top side. Actually not sure what's going on here, but 1296 is pretty low, so I guess probably a skirmish going on previously.
Has to be careful because the rage bar is up, so Ruthless Predator will instantly proc press the attack and amplify all damage coming through. So I think 1296 has to be careful about her positioning here. Remember, Flash was blown when the Dominus was used. She has no jungler around to speak of, so has to be careful about her spacing. 100 rage being accumulated right now, going for the dive with this Predator, and the Q, like we said, amplifying the damage, repress the attack, and an instant solo, and a massive wave being denied as well under the turret. No respect whatsoever from the top lane of Mythos.
And time after time, we see Comfy Roof daring to go under the tower, both on the Kled and the Renekton, to get these kills. If you're the opposing top laner, you have to be aware of this, and you have to give enough respect so that you don't give any more kills to this Renekton.
So on the previous game, Comfy Roof's Renekton was the one that finished it off with the split push. Now she's looking like she's on track to put the team on her back once more. Lane prio, it goes without saying, in favor of the Renekton now. So top side for Opononi super strong, as she's looking most likely to spread her advantage down.
Yeah, this Roof definitely very comfortable on the Renekton.
Mid lane lost chapter picks up for both the mid laners. So we've cleared pretty much a game of ping pong now, back and forth, as the charm is going to connect a good deal of damage now. Black Shield coming in, a Glacial Prison isn't going to find Nacha Adventure, as the Spirit Rush was used to get out of that skirmish. Still a big commitment of ultimates there. The Morgana and the Sejuani both using their respective ults.
Yep, good dodge coming in from Nacha Adventure to get away from the Glacial Prison. Denies a kill over the Huckle with that high impact element. That's a cooldown that they are gonna be missing for a few minutes at least.
Huckle now pathing towards the top side on the blue, whereas Scuttlecrab was secured once more by Lemon Sugar in about half. Level 6 both on the AD and support of both teams.
I'd like to see Opononi begin to prioritize this Infernal Dragon once again. Like we said, all of their lanes should have priority, as here we go, they actually do start it up.
Great timing, like you mentioned, 4 members strong onto the Infernal Dragon, and Hako is nowhere near this objective to contest it, so it should be a free Infernal Drake after a lot of effort being put in to secure the area, going over the way of the side of Opononi.
Yep, slow and methodical, vision control definitely pays off as they pick up the Drake.
Blue buff now in the pockets of both mid laners as the Orb of Deception sails by. Tormented Soil being used to clear the wave out, but it's not as effective as the Orb of Deception, as you can see. Meanwhile, the engage coming down onto the bot lane. They find the Braum, who's put the wall up in the wrong direction, has to flash out. Unbreakable was facing towards their own base instead. Meanwhile, the wave is streaming in, and they managed to burn the flash onto the support.
Alright, if your term's 96 right now, Comfy Roof is very strong, but you do have backup from Huckle, so might be a reverse collapse actually.
The Zane being used to shove Comfy Roof into range of the turret, but the flash out with the slice and dice is enough to get the kill, and Huckle with no Glacial Prison couldn't have done anything there. After Adventure now roaming up to the top side, the ward there isn't going to find Huckle just yet, but a Blast Cone might just reveal her stepping into range. The Charm not connecting, and now they're taking this fight 2v1 under the turret. Great damage in from the Glacial Prison will stop Comfy Room from playing aggressively as Inky teleports in and they take the Blast Cone out.
And crucially, Comfy Roof doesn't go to deal damage on Huckle, which means that the turret doesn't aggro on her. So she is able to get out with Natural Adventure unhurt.
Still, they managed to burn the teleport from Inky, so that's a small win despite everything. After Adventure journeying back into the mid lane to clear the wave out. Bot lane though, without the flash on the Braum, might signal to us that a regank is very much possible and on the cards.
Yeah, at this point, Opononi's just pushing up this bot lane this far ahead, this far in under the tower. I don't think there's any chance for Braum and Ezreal to actually push up any further,
right?
So that Lemon Sugar can come in for again.
As bot lane content with playing safe, and all credit to the Ezreal, who has been CSing extremely well. As this wave comes in, she's going to be matching the CS of the Xayah. And they've really not fallen all too far behind despite us saying, well, this is a losing lane, right? It's pretty much expected for the Ezreal player to come out slightly behind, but this time all credit to her to keep even.
Under the circumstances, yeah, sure, definitely credit over to them. I think they understood that, sure, we have to play very defensively this lane. They haven't been going for unnecessary pushes, overextensions, or engages. As a result, it's still pretty relatively equal at the bot lane.
What isn't equal though is the top lane. Hold on here, Jarvan coming in for the kill onto Huckle. Has to flash away from the Cataclysm, but Spirit Rush being used, and the Charm as well. The icing on the cake as the Ignite will not claim the kill. Instead, Lemon Sugar, the Dragon, lands to get that one. I don't think the Ignite was extremely necessary, but you know, just confirming the kill there. Meanwhile, Roof Herald being started up. 3 members will be on this objective. The Smite is available for Lemon Sugar.
Yep, you can tell Opononi is very, very comfortable, very, very confident in going for these engages. Just no problem. I'm going to jump in, I'm going to flash in, I'm going to hit my skill shots, and you're going to die.
We'll get the Rift Herald. The question is, where are they going to put this one down? Because it's 13 minutes still. There's a small window if they want to get the plates. Alternatively, I am a big fan of putting the Rift Herald down after winning a big fight. Looks like GLP being picked up already by the Ahri, so this is a big core item done for the mid laner of Opononi.
Recently, we have seen the Rift Herald being pretty much wasted by placing it in base, though this time it's on Opononi's side, so with the fights that they have been able to find, I think if they're able to find a big one,
right,
that should be one tower and maybe even half of the other one.
If we can get 2 charges.
Yeah, this'll be very worth.
So though this composition excels, hold on here, Dredge Line in onto the Braum, who's going to use to stand behind me to jump back to Ezreal. Meanwhile, Huckle coming in for the gank does have the Arctic Assault as well as the Glacial Prison. So looking for this one, she swept out the Tri-Burst, so they know that there's no vision whatsoever. Dredge Line in onto the Braum, but the counter engage Glacial Fissure is so good. The exhaust down means that Xayah isn't going to be doing any damage as she has to pop the Featherstorm and the Blade Caller. They're going to sacrifice the Braum though as the teleport comes in from the Renekton to reinforce this fight. It buys some space in the top side for the Urgot, but this should be a Rift Herald into the bot tier 1.
Rift Herald actually might not even be required here, but they're gonna put it down anyway, but this tower is gonna fall regardless. 4-man siege going on in the bot lane as it's gonna be very difficult for Mythos to respond to this.
Shelly bugging out just a little bit there, thought she could get the charge down, but eventually the turret did fall. Second charge coming through. I wouldn't even consider it a second charge if she didn't get the first one off, but they will get value out of this Rift Herald as the Dredge line is going to connect the Flag and Drag, and the Cataclysm locks 2 members in, and you don't want to find yourselves inside that fight, ladies. Backing off, finding bot tier 2, and now they will reset here as they look to claim the next dragon. Third charge as well? Alright.
Most of the time, I would say those kinds of engages, going past your enemy's tower to look for fights, is a little bit overzealous, but Opononi here, knowing their limits, they know that they can go for that fight, and they do manage to pick up the kill and the tower.
Mountain Dragon as well to add insult to injury as they claim 2 of the best dragons in the game. And this composition looking to tear through the structures relatively soon. Of course, the turret score is 2-0 as Nacha Venture is now beating down on mid-outer.
Let's look at the next game. Never mind. Here we go. Oh, okay. I guess I can continue my point. But if Opononi does manage to win this game, and very likely that they do, they've been very confident in this game, and I'm wondering if they do manage to pick up a win here, whether they'll be overconfident going into the next game.
Yeah, against Lannisters, you cannot give them any quarter, otherwise they're going to be looking to take advantage of that. So great point that you bring up. Opononi has to be clean, has to be concise, and know where are their pressure points to hit. So earlier that the top outer went the way of Mythos Esports, so that's a small respite that they get, at least, you know, some gold in their pocket. Overall, the goal lead is still 4k in favor of Opononi.
Yep, credit over 1296, able to pick up that tower though, but we do see engage with the top side.
Oh, Arctic Assault is going to knock Comfy Roof out of the slice and dice, so she will not get activation on the second half of that skill. Will pop the Dominus to turn the fight over. I don't think she wants this. No mana on the side of the Urgot though. It's a small window for her to take this if she wants to. Nevertheless, the wave will be cleared out as 1296.
Yep, if someone else was there, that could have been a huge punish, and that's the sort of overconfident plays that we could see Lannisters punish in the next game. Never mind, here we go.
The Dredge line in will find the Braum, and the Flag and Drag not knocking him up as she uses the stand behind me to get away. Gonna find onto Sparky, should signal that she's gonna fall, but she flashes away the Cataclysm in response, and here comes the Ari to clean up the fight. She finds the opening kill onto the Braum. The flash up as well is so good! Now they're tunneling onto Inky, who uses the Soul Shackles to buy some space, and they might have overcommitted here too far. This is what you were talking about, reaching too far, but the rest of the team here to back them up means that they should be okay for now, despite overreaching just a little bit.
Yeah, there's a 3-4-1, Natcha actually just going down. Urgot's here, but we shouldn't actually see a fight here. There's no reason for either of these teams to go for it.
Yeah, Hayode here is comfortable just auto-attacking and using Mystic Shots to poke them away and clear the wave out. The core item of the Frozen Fist has been done. Still looking for the Mana Mune though. Overall, the gold heavily in favor of not just the top lane but the mid lane as well. Bot lane 400 gold only, so not too much of an issue, but the story lies in the solo lanes once more.
Don't forget, Xayah is actually able to come online faster than Ezreal, so she is going to be able to bring that damage earlier on in the game.
Oh, one thing we did miss out though was that Jarvan's actually holding the largest gold lead now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's actually 2.5k ahead of her opponent, and that's, you know, mostly due to the kill credit that she's been gaining across the map. Multiple times she's been the one securing it. Well, would you say steal or secure?
Kill secured. And they're about to secure this mid lane tower as 4 people just push in and take it, no problem.
GLP being used, but the Black Shield is enough to stop the charm from connecting, and luckily it did with bias. Members of Opononi will just back off, content with the structure taken down. 4-1 is the turret score right now. The goal lead lying north of 6k.
Yep, like you said in Champions Select, Comfy Roof here, very happy with just pushing on the side lane as her team just takes every other objective on the map, so I think they're pretty okay with playing the 1-4 for now.
The secondary win condition, not just picks but also this ability to play the 1-4, and sure the Urgot can match the wave clear, but when it comes to dueling the Renekton, she is heavily outclassed, and this is with a Black Cleaver build that she went for, not even Spear of Shojin to play the 1v1. She's a bit more of a teamfight build, and she's still doing pretty well.
Especially when it's 3-1, I think it comes into question whether or not you maybe should go for a sort of more tankier build, so I think Ninja Tabais right now is doing a great deal for him. Maybe you want to invest a little bit more in tankiness so that you can tank for your team later on in these fights.
And tanking duties are split between the Urgot on the top side and the Sejuani as well, so at least they will have 2 big bodies in the front of the line to tank the damage. Oh, and the skill shots coming through as well. Mana Immune looks to be the next item here for the Ezreal, who is woefully underfarmed.
In the mid lane though, 3 men actually not going to push, just going to back off.
They just want the lane prior, I think, so they can
Yep.
get the wards down in preparation for this air Drake coming up.
And the third Drake on the board going to come up soon. I see no reason for Mythos to be able to walk towards here. Look at the amount of wards control that Opononi does have around the Dragon Pit.
The final Drake here will make it a Sandstorm Drake as it spawns up on the Rift Nacha Adventure, looking for the flank here. 2 control wards there. Whoever checks it though is going to be in a world of hurt as the Spooky Ghost has been used and the GLP as well. They're coming in, having to flash out, but the Cataclysm follows soon after. This is a big fight and the Braum is the first to fall on the depth charge off the back comfy roof. Leading the charge for her team will find the second here. Dark Binding doing absolutely nothing as they look to disengage with the GLP, but still 2 picks being made in the jungle and now they turn their sights over to the Cloud Drake.
Yep, great ambush coming in from the side of Opononi though. Mythos walking in to take some vision control back, but Opononi is just lying in wait in the bush, waiting for them to step forward too much. Sandstorm Drake, like you said, in fact, Flaming Sandstorm Drake.
Flaming Sandstorm Drake being picked up and you could almost smell that the bait was being set up along that control ward. The one that stepped up would have been the sucker that got caught out. Unfortunately, the rest of the team was there to collapse, so even if you lose one, you lose another. Right now, gold is very much in favor of Opononi.
Baron is on the board though, so both teams should be moving towards this objective. Slightly easier for blue team to get to it, in fact, but
If you're Mythos though, you don't want to contest this Baron because the turn potential on the side of Opononi is actually pretty huge. They have multiple mobile members, right? With Flag and Drag, with Spirit Rush, they can all cross walls. If they find the pick with the depth charge, with the charm, it's game over for whoever gets caught out.
But Opononi has shown that they are very good with the Baron. The question is, if you give it over to them, how are you going to get back into the game?
Yeah, the Baron is going to be the thing that puts the nail in the coffin, right? I think that is not the thing, the nail in the coffin itself, yeah.
Well, so I think the optimal play here is actually if Mythos goes for a Miracle Baron sneak. Otherwise, it's pretty much a lose-lose situation for them.
You should be looking to take that as the teleport is up, so Comfy Roof is going to be playing on about half. Like you said, maybe sneaking Baron away, but the vision control is still pretty good. At least they have the Scuttle Crab as our observer is showing us along this Baron to see if it started up. Meanwhile, multiple members from Opononi just sitting in the jungle where there is Fog of War and Hyode walking up. Oop, almost getting caught by the Flag and Drag. Meanwhile, the rest of the team now coming to her rescue. Thankfully, Arcane Shift was there.
Yep, you have to think though, once that Scuttle Crab is gone, that vision is no longer in that river. There is no reason why Opononi won't go for that Baron.
Trying to fish for a charm there as Nacha Adventure oversteps just a little bit. Dark Binding from Inky is going to sail past and catch a minion in the head. Damage is still pretty good from Nacha Adventure. She has the Spirit Rush in her pocket if she wants to make a sneaky play and dash over a wall. Meanwhile, 2-3 members strong on the top side, pinks down onto Baron. This might be the call coming in, but no, they're just content pushing and getting lane power on the top side and putting the wards out. Oh, the pick coming in. Managing to find it with the Spirit Rush there once more. 1296 didn't see what hit her. As they will be able to take down the bot inhibitor turret and most likely the bot inhibitor as well. The map has been broken wide open here, Chufan.
Yeah, there's a 2-3 split push. Oh, never mind, we see a fight. Oh,
see you later, Inky. The flash into the Ruthless Predator and the Orb of Deception was more than enough to find the kill there. Once more, the Ignite, not necessarily just icing on the cake.
Never mind the Baron, they're just sweeping up parts of the base even without it. Take a look at the top side. All 3 members that are up here are devoting their time to this tower and do manage to take it down.
They're pinging and at least walking over to this area. They want to clean the wards out at first. Mythos Esports very, very concerned that there is going to be a Baron attempt here, but as we know, but they don't. Members of Opononi still relatively low as the wards will come down. That one control ward will get spotted out by the Scryer's Bloom.
Yep, Mythos now having a bit of breathing room to go for some wards around Baron. One might think that they might not have this opportunity again though.
Master Standard being used to aggro the Baron and force Rio Mickey to take a bit of damage from the auto attacks in. Blue buff, meanwhile, getting secured on the opposite side of the map by Nacha Adventure. So that's going to be cooldown reduction and mana, which is always great for the RE looking to make picks.
Yep, Opononi here just resetting a little bit, waiting for their items to come online. No, waiting for their champions to come back onto the map. They don't even need items at this point. They're that far ahead, about 10k gold.
They've been online since 16 minutes in. They have a massive priority on this objective right now. You can see there's only one single ward. There's hold on here. The all-in coming through, having to flash away from the Soul Shackles activation. Inky managing to take the trade and come out better with that. True Barrage is gonna find a shutdown onto Nacha Adventure. Caught shopping and sleeping there. Ugh, that's a fuse bad moment.
I think we can call that play overconfident. I think that is warranted. That's the sort of plays you can't afford to play when you're this far ahead.
A lot of the damage gone now that the RE has been picked off, so this is a 25-second window for Mythos Esports to at least regroup and get some vision down. You can see the Braum and Sejuani tag teaming up buddy system to get wards down in the jungle.
Yep, Opononi right now, not much they can do without their mid laner, so just a bit of a lull state. Mythos is able to buy a few seconds of downtime for them to think through what they should do next.
Still, Comfy Roof confident pushing against the Urgot with the super minion wave powered up.
There's no reason for him not to be, confident though. The rest of her team is just keeping the rest of Mythos busy, so she's just able to push up without any competition.
Now there's a trinket ward there, or at least expired zombie ward that spotted out the Renekton rotating over to Dragon. But it looks like they want to set up a play here as they turn the corner and try to land something on Rio Mickey. He's going to get charmed up and the depth charge is certainly going to finish off the Braum. Stays alive for a second longer, but meanwhile the Cataclysm catches 3 as they turn the fight over. Here comes the Fear Beyond Death, not connecting on the Jarvan. It's a huge issue. Featherstorm coming through. WRDZ trying her best to output the damage, but the Blade Caller is huge. And the double coming in, the Charm. Fishing for another kill, but Inky and Hiyori are the only ones left alive defending here.
Yep, Mythos not respecting the Blade Caller. See, you can see the arc of feathers on the map, but unfortunately they don't actually acknowledge it and just walk into and take all the damage.
It looks so good at the start, but at the end, they will lose multiple members. Fear Beyond Death not hitting the Jarvan was a big issue. You could see that the Urgot was ready to fight had it connected. Forced recalls mean that mid-inner is going to fall over to Opononi, who look like they're in a super commanding spot now. 13k is the lead, and like you said, uphill doesn't even begin to describe this game if the opposition is looking to trek up Mount Everest.
As minion waves begin to push further though, Opononi now have the chance to go back to the Baron and clear out this vision, maybe even start it if given a chance.
Scuttle Crab is of utmost priority here, using the Martian Standard and Dragonlance to knock it up.
Yep, there's just a bit more vision coming in from Opononi. I don't think there's a single ward for Mythos in the pit right now. I'm not sure if it's actually picking up the Baron.
It's covered by a control ward, so they have no information whatsoever. In fact, it's Hucko that has to step up and check this and clear the wards. And you see Ahri and Zai in the mid lane and the Nautilus and top, so there is some space now that you can use to walk in and clear the vision out. Problem is that Comfy Roof is just going to be split pushing consistently in the bot lane with the teleport advantage, mind you.
Alright, 4 people on the Baron now. The question is whether or not they actually do try to start it up.
I don't think they have to preemptively pull the trigger. They can just wait for the super minions to stream into base. Sparky looking a bit on edge as she throws the dredge line out. Meanwhile, Renekton still dueling out against the Urgot, falling relatively low, both of them having flash. It forces 2 members back though. You can see the Morgana already appearing. She does have the teleport though, so this, like you said, is perfect timing. Down to 5.5, 5k is the Baron. It's going down so quickly. The damage from the Xayah is good. Hucko is gonna have to steal this if they want to keep themselves in the game, but no, the Jarvan is the one that secures the Baron away, and with the objective and with the kill, they will be able to push in. They lose the Renekton, but it's a small price to pay for the take on top of that. Meanwhile, finding the charm on Hiyori. See you later, buddy. This could just be game, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, finding 2 picks, 40 seconds on the Ezreal gives them a huge window for them to just push into the base, find some inhibitors, maybe even some Nexus turrets.
Big wave streaming in, like you mentioned, and Renekton not there doesn't really mean for anything because they still have the ADC who can still siege up. Bring a bind across only finds the Nautilus, so not really the choice target that you want. Meanwhile, Mirror's Bite will be used to tag up Jarvan. They'll be content with taking mid inhibitor and mid inhibitor turret and backing off.
Now that you have the Baron, now the next step that you have to accomplish in finding this win is setting up these lanes. You have mid lane tower. Yeah, you do have mid lane base tower gone. You have bot lane base tower gone as well. Now it's a matter of setting up both these lanes for synchronized push so that you can build up that pressure.
I think Comfy Roof didn't get the Baron buff there because she was in the Death Chamber, so it's a bit tricky who you send to knock down the bot inhibitor once more. Of course, it did respawn eventually, so I think Comfy Roof, if she goes over it, she's still strong, but just doesn't have the power of the Baron buff. Might just be Nacha eventually being sent down to clear the wave against the Urgot, who, for all intents and purposes, does not have any MR, so will still melt to this Ahri.
Seems like Comfy Roof's actually being sent up to the top side here. They might just want to break open the base on all three fronts actually.
Play the 1-3-1 because Baron buff is still up on the Ahri, still up on the Xayah as well, who has hit her major power point, 3 core items and a Quicksilver Sash as well. So even if she gets tagged up by the Dark Binding or the Winter's Bite, still can cleanse that and move away. Double crit items is also good in the form of the Essence Reaver as well as the Rapid Fire Cannon and Infinity Edge. It's actually 3 crit items. Not lying.
Yep, WRDZ actually has been a pretty consistent AD carry for the side of Opononi this entire day. As we see Comfy Roof break into the top side, should be able to take that inhibitor no problem.
Yep, I think if Mythos Esports want to stay in the tournament, they have to make their last stand. Here's the Dredgeline finds the support and he's immediately blown up. Charmed forward is the Sejuani and now they're turning onto the backline. The Cataclysm will finish them off. Gargoyle Stoneplate does absolutely nothing here as the Urgot will fall and as the Ace coming in. An exceptionally clean one. As the triple kill goes the way of the Xayah and the Nexus is gonna fall. Opononi find themselves in the final in a rematch against Lannister.
No better way to end that game but a clean ace. 5-0 and the Nexus. A very clean win overall coming in from the side of Opononi's. If you do discount some of the questionable decision making, a bit of overconfidence. Hopefully they can fix those issues as they go up against Lannisters next.
I feel like it was them knowing they had the game in the bag. They were just having a bit of fun with the situation, which cannot be the case as they go up against Lannisters. But looking at the draft, pre-game we were saying it's an easy win for Opononi considering that they had the choice composition that they wanted. They had their favorable matchups as well. So coming in, it was just maybe a bit of a warm-up against Lannister. I think Opononi showing that, they've been playing the whole morning. They're still fresh, they're still good to go, and they're ready and waiting to take down the Lannisters.
Well, like you said, they've been playing the whole morning, so perhaps Lannisters, if they have been watching, maybe they're trying to formulate a plan to take down Opononi.
I think what you have to do right now is you target out the Kled, the Renekton, and the Ahri. In your first rotation, it has to be those champions banned out.
100%. I think if they do that, perhaps you force Opononi onto more uncomfortable champions, and in that way you're able to find a bit more of advantage.
And with that, guys, we will be going for a short break. Excuse me, short break. But when we come back, we will have the FSL Thailand finals for you. It's going to be a best of 3 between Opononi as well as Lannisters. But when we come back, we'll have that up for you. For now, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.